Okay, 1980 Italy trip. This is the Vatican, Sistine Chapel. Not sure what else is on this, but this was so amazing to walk into the Vatican and see all this stuff. That's paintings all over, ceilings and everywhere. They wouldn't let you take any pictures. I don't think we got any pictures of the Sistine Chapel because they didn't want to take any pictures inside. But lots of different. Even the hallway system's got pictures on it, on the ceiling. It's so dark in these places. The cameras at the time just did not pick up the light very well. This one seems like it says it's 8 minutes long. I'm surprised. I don't know. Must have spliced something together on this. But anyway, this could be inside the Sistine Chapel where it was very dark. I bet it is because I'm trying to point at the ceiling. You can't see anything. Wasn't too long after this. I guess they quit letting people take any type of pictures inside the chapel. And as I remember them telling us, it is still still a working Catholic chapel that they would use. Let's see. Yeah, this is in the Sistine Chapel. I can tell from some of those pictures, but it's so dark you can't see anything on the video. So we just let it run here a little bit and see if anything pops up that we can see and identify. I think we spent a total of about a week on this trip over there with Lafayette Life. There was always something going on. It was always guided tours and things where they would take you different places. Every so often they'd give you a couple hours in the afternoon or to roam around, like from your hotel, or nothing planned. But when you'd get to the towns outside of Rome, obviously everything was on a tour. So when the bus stopped, you had the opportunity to go and tour and see what you wanted to see, and then meet back at the bus at a certain time. I remember also such narrow streets for those big buses. Even today, when last trip we went to Italy, it was interesting to see how small the roads are, and even with the cars, and then to see the buses that try to come down and navigate them. It's quite interesting. It's quite boring because you can't tell what anything is. Yeah, it's St. Peter's Basilica and the Sistine Chapel is all right there at the Vatican. Maybe we'll see some decent pictures when we get back outside, but this is all boring. Sorry. Can't even pick out any definite features. I don't know that it was any brighter when we filmed it, but obviously 8mm film gets duller over a period of time, and when Christian did these was a few years back. It's probably about 6-7 years ago when he transferred these over for us. I just hadn't had the time to put the audio on them, and now that I'm retired, I've got time to sit down and look through these and talk a little bit, see what goes on. Yeah. No idea. I just know Sistine Chapel. When we went with the Gibbonses, there was so many more people than when we went back here in 1980. Unbelievable, the lines when we went, what was it, 2018, 2017, somewhere around in there. So in the 30 years, became more and more of a tourist place. I mean, it was just lines and lines of people waiting to get in. It took you an hour in line in the 2017 just to get into here, where in 1980, obviously, it was easier to get in. Boring watching this, though. Sorry. Got another 3 minutes of something on this. There we go. Now we got a little bit of light where we can see something again. back outside, and some models of something. I don't know what that was a model of. But this is in the, well, there's a lot of lines there too. You can see down that hallway, there's a lot of lines. Back to the Toga party. That's interesting. This must have been, I have no idea how it managed to get on this roll, but we're back to the Toga party. This was back at the hotel. We had the Toga party. Had one of those big reception halls, and it was interesting because even when we went there, there was only, maybe 10 people that we knew, because this was from all over the nation. You knew names, but you really didn't know these people. This is outside, looking at the Vatican, looking at those columns. And you get in a certain place, you can stand, and all the columns will line up in perfect order to where you can see right down, and they don't overlap each other. They're just all perfectly lined up. All the statues, I think they're the popes are on top. There's Kitty. Somebody was getting married, so that was a wedding out there. And there's the Vatican guards. It's interesting how it's the Swiss guards. I don't know how often they change shifts on them, but they stand out there and guard the gate going in. I assume that's where the Pope and the rest of the officials enter into the Vatican. This is actually inside the Sistine, not the Sistine Chapel, but the Rotunda area. And looking up inside of it, a little more light where you can see something, but just gigantic big. And that statue we saw earlier was Mary holding Christ. Can't remember the name of it, but that's what it represented, or what the statue was of. Not what it represented, but what it was of. Again, all the ceilings painted, decorated, just ornate. There's a statue there. There's a name for it, but I don't know what it is. Your mother would. There's Mary holding Christ. And more darkness. Okay. He's taking flash cameras. They don't even allow flash cameras in this part anymore. Not sure what we're looking into. We're looking up through the rotunda there. Get a little light so you can see. Sorry, this is so boring. There's no kids in this. It's just a trip to Italy. Fun to remember it, though, from our standpoint. Sun's coming through a window, a stained glass window. All right, it's just about over.